Are you ever wondering what's covered on your insurance policy and what's not? Hi, I'm Rebecca Foote with the Rebecca Foote Mortgage Team, and today we have along with us Loretta Shotsberger from Enders Insurance. So thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So Loretta is somebody that we refer homeowners insurance to because Loretta takes such good care of our clients. But I want to explain to them exactly what it is you do, because people just know insurance like, oh, I got in a car accident, or oh, my house caught on fire. But it's so much more than that.
There is a lot more that goes into it, definitely.
So say I'm a first-time home buyer calling in. Educate me like you would a first-time home buyer.
Whenever I get a first-time home buyer, I usually do a general intake form where I collect basic information from them. Name, date of birth, prior address, the address you're moving to, some specific details to that person, and then we're going to ask a lot of questions about the home itself. So it is very nice when the buyer is educated on what they are looking to purchase. What year the roof has been renovated, has plumbing, electrical, how old is the heating system. Those are all things that we're going to take into account and will help direct where we place the business and how much the premium will end up being.
Okay, and that makes sense. And to just specify that for somebody who doesn't understand, you guys are an insurance broker.
Right.
Which means you have multiple sources that you could place that insurance with.
Right. I have over a dozen different carriers that I could place a standard home and auto with. And then I also have other carriers that are more niche markets that can help with specific risks.
Yeah, which makes complete sense. And I love that because you do the shopping for the client.
Yes, we do all the work.
Without them having to call 20 different people.
Exactly.
So on the homeowners insurance, I know there's different riders or endorsements that you can get that mean different things. So can you give us some examples of some of those?
Sure. Let's just take it from the top. Our first step in figuring out what is going to be the best fit for you and your home is doing a replacement cost estimate. Okay. These are very detailed estimates. They take into account the current cost of building materials, wiring, contractor costs, plumbing, etc. These are updated on a quarterly basis usually, and so they really try to stay close to what the current building cost is, because if you had a loss now, what your house cost to build in 1993 is likely no longer going to jive with what it costs now in 2023. So what we do is a replacement cost estimate. Once we have that figure, we'll talk about that figure with you, and then that becomes your dwelling coverage. Your dwelling coverage, they are obligated, the insurance company is obligated to restore you or make you whole again. So we have to insure to 100% replacement cost. Whenever you look at the dwelling coverage, you automatically have inclusions for other items such as detached structures, personal property, and loss of use. These are automatic percentages of the amount we've predicted it will cost to rebuild your home. So all of that is automatically included to give you the protection you need. Okay. Generally speaking, your replacement cost, say your replacement cost is $300,000. Other structures is going to be 10% of that, usually automatically. So it'll give you $30,000 for any buildings or structures, and don't just think buildings. This could be pools, fences, pavilions, anything not attached to the house. Personal property is usually always 50 to 70% of your dwelling replacement cost, and then loss of use can be anywhere from 10% to 40%, or they'll give you up to a year for restoration.
So let me ask you this. Could you, if you have an outbuilding or whatever, barn or whatnot, that's more than 30%, can you get it insured to cover that?
Yes, yes, and that's where endorsements come into play. So your policy is set up kind of like to follow that format, and then you can add things to it to expand your coverage, broaden it. And this is why it's really great to have an educated insurance agent on your side to ask you those questions. Do you have a large detached structure? Where you're located, did you know you're near a fault line? You may want to look at earthquake insurance. You may want to add that to your coverage. Other things like water backup, or Sinkhole.
Our area is famous for sinkholes.
Yes. So under a standard homeowners policy, there are automatic exclusions, and maybe we should have started with that. The exclusions would be water, that's excluded. Water coming in from the outside, that falls under flooding, automatically excluded under a homeowner's policy. You need to have flood coverage in order for that to be covered.
Yes.
Land movement. People don't realize this. Land movement is always excluded. So things like earthquake, landslide, sinkhole, that falls under the exclusions. So it's good to have a conversation with your insurance company to talk about things that maybe you aren't comfortable if it's not covered, and adding it by endorsement. You will pay a premium to have that extra coverage, but you would have that peace of mind.
Absolutely, especially, like I said, I know our area is famous for sinkholes,
right.
And if it's just a part of your lot, that's one thing, still not great. But if it's under your house,
right?
Oh, that's a whole different ballgame.
You could be looking at a massive expense.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and another thing that I hear is excluded is like acts of war. You know, if we have a, God forbid, a bombing here or something, that's your house is gone. And so scary stuff out there. But having the right agent to help guide you along that is definitely key.
That's the first step in the right direction, for sure.
So is there anything else that a first-time homebuyer should know? Obviously, talking to an experienced person is key, but that they should know ahead of time.
I would say as long as they have information about the house, know what you are purchasing. If you have an inspection handy, that's super helpful for your insurance agent to know how much life is left in the roof, or if there's a particular hazard, maybe gutters aren't done properly on the house, and there's going to be an obvious moisture issue, things like that. A first-time home buyer can, I think it's really important to not do it on their own. Find somebody who knows how the industry works and knows the right questions to ask. Is going to be their, the best way to help them get started in their dream home.
Not those 1-800 companies.
Right, exactly. Stay away from those.
And it's also important, we try to tell our clients, when you're getting your home price, it's good that if you have your car at the same company, you can get the multi-policy discount and save yourself a little bit, right?
So at the end of the day, I think people put insurance kind of on the back burner, and let's be real, insurance can make or break a deal. I've seen it happen before. It can make or break a real estate transaction.
Yes.
So in giving your agent all of your information, possibly, giving them your auto, if you have a personal auto policy, helps your agent do their very best for you. Because a lot of times you can get 10 to 15% off the home premium, 10 to 15 or even more off the auto premium by bundling those two together with the same carrier. It doesn't always work out that perfectly, but that is your best bet to save money. And let's be honest, what you pay in insurance premium on an annual basis is typically escrowed in and part of your mortgage.
Yes.
So,
and one thing I do also want to jump in here with, correct me if I'm wrong, but hazard insurance, which is your homeowner's insurance, that is the cost of it's going up, as well as auto insurance.
Right.
Because of, on a car, you have all the sensors and all that these days and the bumpers that you didn't have years ago. But just if you think of it from an insurance company standpoint, if you're paying $1,000 a year to insure a $300,000 house, if it burns down, that insurance company is never going to make money on you ever again.
Right, exactly.
Because they've lost so much.
Right.
So I think it's, would you say it's changing now? Like it's becoming more expensive to keep up with the times.
It absolutely is, because building materials have increased significantly, and every year the insurance company looks at where they are in the overall market, and they kind of make a predetermination on, okay, what losses are we going to suffer? How much do we expect to pay out in losses? And I don't think enough rate was probably likely taken in the last couple of years to account for the rate of inflation in the rest of the market.
Absolutely.
So I think it is common to see a little bit higher premiums right now. Small claims are costing a lot more to repair. There's backlog on materials, contractor costs are increased as well. So there's so much going into it.
Absolutely. So Loretta, if somebody's trying to, they want to reach out to you, get a quote, find out how much it would be for you guys to insure their insurance or their home and their auto, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
I would definitely say give me a call. Shoot me an email, send me a text. My contact information is linked below, along with a link to our website.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming in. And I'm Rebecca Foote from the Rebecca Foote Mortgage Team. And if you have any questions on financing, please make sure you reach out to us. Don't forget to hit subscribe and ding that bell for notifications.